Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be answering some EU4 questions. So yesterday or the day before, I asked you guys on a community post to ask your EU4 related questions and that I'm going to answer them in a video. And there's about 148 comments right here, some of them technical, some of them memey, some of them not even related to EU4, and I'm going to try and answer all of them. And if you like this video, maybe we can do this again, maybe I'll post this on Twitter too, maybe on the Discord too, so we can get some more comments, and they don't even have to be related to EU4 next time. Maybe they can be related to other games, maybe not even related to games at all. Maybe you can ask me how I have such a good mustache, but more on that later. Let's jump into the comments right here and see what you guys have asked, and I'll try and answer them to the best of my abilities. All right, so here are the comments, man. Of course, I'm going to sort by top comments right here, and Chan asks, how long did it take you to fully understand some of the game mechanics? And what would you suggest to someone who works full-time but wants to get better at the game? Thank you for the videos. Well, you're welcome, Chan. The first part of the question right here, how long did it take you to fully understand some of the game mechanics? Listen, I still don't fully understand some of the game mechanics, all right? You just need to know them, well enough to play the game without losing and stuff like that. There are so many things I don't understand, especially, with me and Lathe casting this Speed 5 thingy, you can see so much of the, you can see so many better players than us, like Flory, Zlewick, Habibi, and stuff like that, where they go into things that I've literally never thought of and doing things that I've literally never done. So, yeah, I still don't fully understand some of the game mechanics. And the second question right here, what would you suggest to someone who works full-time but also wants to get better at the game? I would suggest reading a bit more and watching a bit more videos instead of just playing and trying to figure out things on your own. Because when you have free time, sure, you can learn by playing, but when you don't have so much free time, a one video about mechanics or a nation guide here and there, maybe just a page on the wiki, reading about like army composition or trade goods or something like that, that can help you out a bit. So I hope that answers your question. The next question right here we got by Snapply Pie. Could you talk about the best technology groups early to late game, like how the Anatolian and Nomad groups are powerful at the start but weak at the end? See, this is a bit more technical, a bit out of my scope right here. I don't really get into the like optimizing stuff like that, but of course Western tech is best at the late game, and then we got those like Polynesian units which are really strong at the end game as well, and of course like the African and Native and some other groups drop off at the end. So even though I can't fully answer your question right here, I can tell you to join my Discord right here. Link is in the description, and you can go into the EU4 channel right here, check the pinned messages, scroll all the way down, and you will find this document right here, which was posted quite a while ago, which is this document right here that tells you everything about army composition and every tech level and all the units and stuff, which are best, Western, African, Anatolian, Chinese. We got everything right here. And honestly, I don't know if this document is up to date, but if you want to go into stuff like that, definitely join the Discord and check out this document right here, and hopefully this will answer some of your questions. Moving on, Sprite Mix Something asks, a general look at unit pips and what they do would be nice, especially if you could go into some of the detail for which choice of unit will be best against certain enemies like hordes or Ottomans, or how much damage modifiers should affect their choice of case of fire and shock damage dealt. Should someone with these modifiers try to play at their strengths and pips for the whole game, or does it just end up going to meta at the end? I do think it just ends up going to meta at the end. Like I said, related to unit pips and stuff like that, once again, related to the previous question, you can check out that document and see how the different units stack up against each other and stuff like that. Pat over here asks, could you explain us how to make use of coalitions against you and how to avoid being hit by them while still expanding and not just waiting around? It can be very tricky to handle them, so some advices are welcome. Sure. So I don't really play the type of playstyle where you get hit with coalitions too often. You may encounter that in a World Conquest or something like that, or like playing in Japan early game. But pretty much the best advice I can give here is the truce juggle, which means you fight someone and then you have a truce with them, right? While you have a truce, a coalition can form. As soon as the truce is up, boom, you go ahead and hit them again and beat them up even more. And you keep checking truces like that. As soon as the truce is up, declare on someone. You don't even have to take stuff. You can white piece them. But basically by increasing your truce with them, they stop joining. They can't join a coalition. As for stopping it from declaring, you just gotta be big and strong and have lots of powerful allies. Murat here asks, could you give some advice about combat mechanics and army comp mid and late game? I mean, how does it work with other parameters precisely? Once again, I'm gonna tell you to check out that document as well and check out the army composition and combat with and stuff like that. James here asks, do you have any idea on how you would make the late to mid game more fun? I feel like that's the worst part about the game, is that it usually only takes 100 to 150 years before it gets tedious. Sure, I feel the same way, James. The mid to late game is sort of tedious for me as well, but the way you make it more fun is basically you set a goal for yourself that you can't accomplish in the early game, right? There are some achievements which take you a while to do. Maybe you have some sort of roleplay type campaign where you do this, conquer that, only do that. So as long as you have a goal, I feel like, that takes you to that part of the game, I feel like it won't get tedious. But if you just start up a campaign with no goal in sight, yeah, you're gonna get bored after 100 and 150 years. Rodrigo here asks, what is the most stressful campaign you've ever played? I think Chagatai was pretty stressful. I'm not really too big of a fan of hordes, where you have to blob out in various different directions and stuff like that. You know, I like to keep my countries neat and tidy. Daniel here says, what nation do you hate playing the most? Once again, I'm gonna say I'm not really a big fan of hordes. I like the Manchu guys though. Jay here asks, will you make a campaign in the first version of EU4? It would be very interesting, I think. Can I even access the first version of EU4? If I can, I would. Tarkin here says, would you be fond of doing playthroughs of some mods? I understand that it's not such a popular concept as base EU4, but Ann Bernard, for example, which I'm a great fan of, is simply an amazing way to scope, featuring dozens upon dozens of different gameplays, flavors, and mechanics. Sincerely would love to see you make a run as the Witch King or my beloved. I'm not even gonna try and say that. I do get a lot of suggestions to do this, but the reality is those videos just aren't as popular as regular EU4. And also, even though all of those mods are great and I can see the value in them and why people like them, they're just not for me. I like regular EU4, not really a fan of fantasy type setting. Zero Gravity here says, I have a burgeoning grasp on the mechanics, thanks to a good part to your videos, but I can hardly navigate the menus or use the controls. Any tips for resources like a quick reference for keybinds or a list of menu subheadings? Yeah, man, this is no real tips on that. You just gotta play. I struggle with these two. I can never find where to share maps, steal maps, some of the spy mechanics and stuff like that. So you just gotta scroll through them and look through them. I just keep all of the menus when I right click on a country open so I can just scroll on them instead of clicking around. And keybinds, I really don't have a tip for that. I got everything mapped out, you know, in the map on the bottom right here, and I just use QWERT for my most common, you know, map modes and stuff like that. C for, you know, events and stuff, and then you got a space for play and pause and stuff like that. But yeah, no real tips on this, just keep playing. This person right here asks, what do you like the most, discipline, morale, or combat ability? What do I like the most? I personally like stacking combat ability the most. Is it the best? It's debatable. Sure, morale is better in the early game, discipline is better in the late game generally, but I do find stacking combat ability the most fun. I do like doing that, you know, taking quality ideas, stacking it with national ideas, with missions and stuff like that. So yeah, combat ability for sure. Is it the best? I don't know though. Guabaichi here asks, what do you wish EU4 did different, and what from EU4 do you 100% want in EU5? What do I wish EU4 did different? Ran better, use multiple cores, and I do wish the menus looked a bit more modern. Other than that, I feel like EU4 is pretty good. And what from EU4 do I 100% want in EU5? Pretty much everything. Listen, boys, don't tell anyone. I don't want EU5. I like EU4 a lot. If we could just remaster it, please. Edwin here asks, is it ever worth the culture convert provinces? I've never done it in the game. Sure, you know, if you're doing a roleplay type campaign or if you're staying small and playing tall and stuff like that, sure, it is worth it. I generally don't do this either unless I have a load of Diplo points, which I don't know, I don't need to use on deving or anything else. I might convert a province here or there, but I don't know. Is it worth it? I guess so, but probably not. Lowmaster here asks, which game mechanic have you learned of that changed the way you play the game? Good question, let me think about it. Honestly, I can't think of anything right now, man. Which game mechanic have you learned of that changed the way you play the game? Yeah, I can't think of anything. Maybe, you know, a while ago, like 5 or 6 years ago, there have been stuff like this that I've learned that have changed the way I played the game, but anything recently, I honestly can't think of. General Lime asks, what is your optimal tag switches for World Conquest and EU4? None. Just start as Austria, bro. That's it. That's the easiest way. Maki's Khan here asks, if you could add an Easter egg nation, maybe a releasable or a very hard formable, which would it be? Well, I was gonna say the Angevin Empire, but they're adding that in the next DLC. So yeah, there's your answer. This person here says, what are in general the best ideas in terms of combinations with policies? Quantity, quality, and trade economic. You really can't go wrong with those for armies and money making either. So yeah, the meta's still here. This person says, after Florence, what are your 3 favorite countries, polities in EU4? Including Florence, it would be Austria and the Mamluks. Without Florence, Austria, Mamluks, and Persia? This person says, which nation are you going to play first after 135 will be released and why? Ah, man, so many nations I want to check out on 135, man. Probably Ottomans and England I'm most excited for. The number E says, how good at the game do you think you are compared to other EU4 YouTubers like Laith, Ludi, or Zlewick? Well, I'm better than Laith, I can tell you that. I'm not better than Zlewick, for sure. Zlewick was one of the best at the game, and I'm probably not better than Ludi either. Flirt here says, did you ever rebind the declare war hotkey to avoid accidental no CB wars? Took me 4 years to find the rebind hotkey button next to the minimap. No, I haven't rebounded. Accidental wars still happen. I just Alt F4 and don't show them. Vincent here says, could you make some videos past 1550, 1600? Big support from Paris. Shout out to Paris, and probably not. Playing so long, I would have to make less videos. So if I played that far, I usually accomplish my goals by that point anyway. Yeah, and playing more than that, it would make the video longer. It would take me more time, which in turn equals to less video. Fallen Down says, the impossible question, how does natives work in this game? I try to understand this, but there is no way. Please share any knowledge of yours you have, I would be grateful. Natives? Do you mean navies? If you mean navies, I don't know. I literally don't know. More boats equals good? I don't know. There's naval combat with too. I generally try to go for combat ability. I like galleys a lot, but if you do mean natives, I have lots of videos featuring natives in South America, North America, and Australia, so maybe you can go and check those out in A to Z or releasables. Nico says, what has been your most challenging country / start? Below 0. Toby Eats Toes says, what do you do if you're boxed into an area and you can't expand because of huge AI alliances? This has happened to me many times. You just gotta try and find when they're at war, when some of their allies won't join, but the best tip here would be get Diplo ideas and try and find bigger allies yourself. Dan here asks, how do you go about doing a World Conquest 1 Faith run? Well, good thing I have an Austria guide, so you can check it out and you'll see how I go about that. And if you want to see a full 1444 to 1821 World Conquest / 1 Faith, you can check out the second channel. There it is, right there, Red Hawk VODs in the description as well, and you can watch a full playthrough of me playing as Austria and doing a World Conquest and 1 Faith. This person here says, why do you take vassal cores directly instead of using the return cores? Is it really worth the tiny amount of A you don't get? I don't really care about this. I just click on the map sometimes, and sometimes I click on the menu. I don't like min-maxing that much. I don't care what one option or the other one does, and neither should you really. What is the best pain therapy ratio for A to Z? 1 session of therapy per episode, bruh. You have no idea. This person asks, what are in your opinion the top 3 DLC and why? Emperor, Art of War, and this one that's about to come out. Unnamed Emperor asks, is there some type of actual in-game tutorial for EU4? The game seems incredibly convoluted at times when I see you and other YouTubers do various things and I see screens menus that I didn't even know existed. Yes, there's an in-game tutorial for EU4. It's horrible. Don't play it. Just watch videos or read the wiki. Please. This person asks, what is the best special regiment in your opinion? Ooh, I don't know them off the top of my head. Probably the Swedish ones. This person says, have you ever done a world conquest? And if you have, as which country? Yes, I've done many as Austria. I can't be bothered to do it with anyone else because it just takes so long and it's annoying. I think I've done it as the Mughals too, actually. This person says, would you consider doing a colonial Denmark guide or is that too weak? No, it's perfectly viable, but my guides end by the time you start colonization. I do mention it in my latest Denmark guide and the last one as well, but by the time I get to colonization, our games diverge too much and my guides wouldn't be relevant for you guys because, you know, our games are most similar in like the 51st years, which are the time frames I do my guides, and anything after that, our games start diverging too much and nothing will be relevant. I'll say declare on Brandenburg. Brandenburg won't even exist in your campaigns. Will you start doing achievement guides? No. Too annoying. How does combat ability, like infantry combat ability, actually factor into battles? I have no idea, but it's good. Matthew says, I have over 2,500 hours in game and I still don't know how to optimize trade. When do you transfer and when do you collect trade other than end nodes? And at what point is marketplaces a waste? Alright, so for marketplaces, build them in every province that gives you more than 2 trade power. This is generally provinces you've developed, provinces with estuaries or centers of trade and stuff like that. Generally, it's better to transfer everything to your end node as long as you have a bunch of control there. So yeah, usually I just transfer everything unless the setup is wonky and I collect everything at the start. Maybe as Tunis, in like the first 50 years, you would collect everywhere, but then once you move around your trade nodes to a sort of end-ish or an end node, that's when you start transferring. Last game, I curtailed noble privileges. How long before I'm legally allowed to play the game again? Never. You must delete EU4 now. Why is Theodoro in the Pontic culture group and not in a Germanic one? Also, will you do a video on Theodoro outside of A to Z? I don't know why it's in the Pontic culture group. Will I do a video on Theodoro outside of A to Z? Maybe I'd do a guide. Will you make some guide past 1500 or even endgame, managing revolutions and stuff? No, like I said a couple of questions ago, our games diverge too much. After that point, the guide wouldn't be relevant. At what point does fire actually become useful on generals? After about 150 years, I would say. Age of Absolutism, I think? I don't know. Once again, check out that Google document. What DLC do you need to properly play the game? All of them. Check out the subscription if you're new though, or wait for a humble bundle deal. When will you do a world conquest with Ryukyu? Probably never. How can you tell when to collect or transfer with your merchants? Like I said with the previous question, yeah, you don't really know. The best advice I've received with this is, let's say, I don't know, you have half of Constantinople and all of Aleppo. Is it better to transfer, and your main trade node is Constantinople? Is it better to transfer from Aleppo to Constantinople or collect? I don't know. But put your merchant in Aleppo and tell him to collect. See how much money you make. All right, I make, I don't know, 10 ducats. Now tell him to transfer. How much money do you make? 8 ducats. All right, it's obviously better to collect. Or if you make more, like 12 ducats, okay, it's obviously better to transfer. Move around your merchants until you see what makes the most money, and then keep it at that. Keep checking every 30, 40 years, or when you do a major conquest. The Turnip says, how is market share calculated for strategic goods? Ooh, I did something like this for a video, but I forgot. I guess basically on how much production dev you have in those provinces that you own. Maybe something related to trade too, goods produced? I don't know. How do you effectively manage coalitions when blobbing? I already answered a question similar to this. Any general tips for base game EU4? Base game? Sorry, bro. What's your favorite country to play? Austria. What are the best DLCs to get? Like I said, Emperor, Art of War, the next one that's about to come out. Which government reform should I pick for my second slot? Ooh, that's a good one. Enforce trader privileges? Wait, no. You know. How do battles work and how are cannons so good? I have no idea, but cannons good. After about tech 15, 16. What's your least favorite mechanic in the game? Conversely, what's your favorite mechanic in the game? Least favorite? Rebels, because they're annoying, but I guess they do have to be there. Favorite one? Discounts? This person says, how many hours do you have in EU4? I have no idea. Probably like 4K. Yakub here says, how are you still not burnt out? I've got like 2K hours and I started the game only to turn it off after 10-15 years of in-game time. I guess you just play the same nations. I'm not burnt out because I really don't play that much. I don't play every day. I only play as many videos as I record. So 3 EU4 videos per week. I play 3 times a week. And because of A to Z and because of releasables, I play different nations all the time so it doesn't get boring. Sure, recording the same guides over and over again does get a bit tedious, and I do feel like I'm a bit burnt out on guides, but then again, you don't want to see a guide for an irrelevant nation that no one's gonna play, right? People want the popular nations, so I do guides for the popular nations. When do you think A to Z will be finished? Well, when we're about halfway through Season L, we'll be about halfway, so 2025, I'm thinking. It'll be done before EU5 for sure, though. Andrew here asks, what separates fun challenges from frustrating difficulty when considering which nation to play? Pretty much, why is Byzantium fun to play, but many other challenging starts are not? For me, it's about how many times you gotta restart and how many years can you go before you know whether the run is bad and you'll have to restart. For example, Granada is tedious because I have to restart so many times, but Byzantium, pretty much so many strategies have been worked out with Biz that really after 1 or 2 restarts as Biz, you're good to go. How to get someone not that interested into history into EU4? I don't know, man. Tough luck. Is it possible to see a log of all the time the AI cheat? The AI doesn't cheat, if you're talking about forts or anything like that. But the AI, I guess, cheats when you got lucky nations or playing on hard. Oh yeah, they also cheat because they don't pay mill points for generals. Are the mana points really worth the lackluster Crownland? Yes, because you get the Crownland back really fast because you expand Seas Land, lore autonomy. Yes, they are worth it. Ennis here asks, how did you find the idea of the A to Z series? Good question. I wanted to find a way to play as many countries as I could in EU. And one day I saw a video of iSorrow Productions pop up, you know, Hearts of Iron, A to Z. And those videos always kept popping up for me, but I've never watched them because I don't know anything about Hoi 4. But for some reason I decided to click on it. And all this time I thought A to Z was a mod for Hoi 4. But when I actually clicked this video, I realized that he's playing all the countries in Hearts of Iron alphabetically. So I thought, oh my god, I'll do that as well. No one's doing it for EU4. So yeah, I credit the idea to him. In hindsight though, I probably wouldn't do it like that. If I could start over, I'd just click on the random country button that's in the bottom right. So shout out iSorrow Productions. Nero here says, ooh, where do I begin? How do you form a good army even when up-to-date Miltech General Discipline Advisors? I still get stack wiped by rival Euro nations and I don't understand why. Don't fight in mountains, don't cross rivers, check generals as well. You can go into the ledger in the bottom right, do army quality comparison, see where they're better at you, and also, once again, you can check out that Google document. Trade. Even when I dominate territories in and around trade nodes, my trade power doesn't seem to increase. Why? Build marketplaces, develop the provinces in production, build production buildings in high-value trade good provinces, upgrade centers of trade, control upstream trade nodes. How do you expand at a semi-quick pace when it's a hassle maintaining a couple of provinces at a time for seemingly decades? Sounds like you're pretty new at the game, honestly. Try playing easier nations. Are some nations just plain impossible to play? No. Mr. Battle Charge here says, why don't you do a playthrough where you just enjoy the country and play how you want? I would watch that. Take your country to 1821 and let's see how much fun you have playing for yourself and not playing for our entertainment. You can see some runs like this on Twitch, man. Once again, link to the second channel in the description. And once again, if I played so long, I'd have to make less videos. And I'd get bored with a goal of playing till 1821. How do trade companies work? What's more convenient, to collect from trade or when to transfer trade power? I already answered collecting versus transferring, move around your merchants. How do trade companies work? They don't give you penalties to stuff that you don't want accepted, and they give you bonuses to trade. Trade companies generally good, but not everywhere though. What's the achievement in EU4 that you have that you're most proud of? Is there an achievement that is your white whale? I guess one faith. How long have you played this game? Since 2014. Why is Europa Universalis the best EU4 mod? I don't know. Ask the guys who use it, bruh. All right, this is a pretty specific question here, so I don't know if I can answer it. The Ottomans just declared war on me, and they're got the numbers and a better general. We were equal in Diplo and Mil Tech, both 16, but I'm behind in Admin Tech. All right, that doesn't matter. I'm playing as Persian, I have a pretty good economic base, and I have a ton of manpower, but my forts are still level 2. I also have boxed in a nation as an enemy. I've got a lot more allies, though, but still, it's the Ottomans, and they're the number 1 great power. I'm number 2. What do I do? Let them come to you, fight them in mountains. If you got allies, you should be able to deal with them. Try to get more troops than them, and depending on the ideas, once again, check the ledger, see where you're lacking, try and get some discipline guys or morale guys, and just overinflate your country, or if not, if you think you're really gonna lose, just give them something. How to start a game as Soyo? I think you guys just saw that last video, so there you go, Josiah. That's how you start a game as Soyo. I think that was the last video, yeah. How to deal with a coalition with 3 times the strength and it firing the same Miltech. Give up your allies' land. How to efficiently deal with gov capacity restrictions for blobbing campaigns. Build courthouses. How do interregnums actually work? I don't think they do. I think just some countries are scripted to start with them. I don't think you can get in an interregnum. You always have a regency, whether it's a queen or an estate regency. Have you ever completed a EU4 campaign, meaning playing till 1821? Yes, lots of times. Which DLCs are worth to buy? Honestly, all of them. Or if you're new, just get the subscription or wait for the Humble Bundle sale where you can get like all DLCs for 20 bucks. When another EU4 butt video? Yeah, I don't make those anymore. They're just not fun to make. I know they're popular, but they're just not interesting to me. You can check out Schubert though. There he is right here. He makes videos like that. What is the best way to increase force limit? Buildings, quantity ideas, vassals early game? How did you find out about the game? I wanted to play a map game. I think that's how I found out about it. I think I discovered, no, I wanted to play a map game and yeah, a history game too, I guess. How to like the political marriage event IRL, improve relations. What province is your favorite? Amsterdam. When does one exploit development in game for cash? Usually never. What is the best religion in game? Catholic's pretty strong along with Orthodox. Yeah, I think those two are my favorite. Are they the best? Is Sukhothai even possible? Anytime I try, no one is willing to support my independence because they think Ming will get involved. Yeah. Wait, no. I think I broke free in Southeast Asia without any help. They shouldn't think Ming will get involved. If not, just do what I did with Soyo a couple of days ago. Overinflate yourself. Get free. Try not to blow up after that. Is EU4 worth the cost? Maybe so late in the development cycle. You know, it's been out for about 10 years already. I don't think we're gonna get EU5 soon. I think we're 2 or 3 years away. Is it worth buying at full cost? Maybe not. But if you're new, you can get the subscription, all DLCs for $5 a month. I already mentioned this 5 times. I'm not being paid by Paradox for this video. Or you can look out for sales. There's always Steam sales. There's always sales on the Paradox website and on Humble Bundle as well. So you can pretty much get it very often at a discount. Random Javanese says, hey Redhawk, can you please tell us how the frick trade routes work? I don't know anything, please help. Yeah, control all of it and transfer or collect, move around your merchants, build buildings related to trade and production, upgrade centers of trade, build buildings in high value trade good provinces, dev up when you have extra points. What's a popular country you haven't played and why? Well, surprisingly, Ming is one of the most popular countries in EU4. Lots of players from China apparently, but I've actually literally never played Ming. I've played EU4 for about 9 years now, never played Ming. What is the best government reform and why is it Pirate Republic? I didn't realize they renamed theocracies to Pirate Republics, but alright. Is it possible to get 100% trade power in the not and the trade node? For example, Persia. Yes, but you'd have to control all the exit nodes pretty much. So I think 2 trade nodes go out of Persia. You'd have to control all of those that go out of Persia and maybe a bit more after that as well. But yes, it is possible. In general, it's the easiest to get in basically end nodes, basically trade nodes with only one exit, like Constantinople, for example. How do I know what the state, what the trade company, what to leave as a territory? Generally, you want a trade company, the old trade companies, which are the 3 trade nodes around Africa, everything in India, Southeast Asia, Maritime Southeast Asia as well. Since I don't blob out that much in my games, I usually try to state everything and try not to leave too much as territories. But if you're blobbing out that much, where you need to think so much, what the trade company, what the state, what the territory, you're, you know, better off not caring about that. Alternatively, hover over the state button, state the ones with the most dev. How do I get a girlfriend using my EU4 knowledge? I don't know. Go to a library. What are your go-to idea groups plus policies for each game? Mine are also innovative and offensive, procedurability since it's broken as frick. Yeah, I don't know. I like the general ones. I'm sort of stuck in the meta a bit. Quantity, quality, trade, economic, religious, and stuff like that. Those are my favorite ones, I guess. How to deal with coalitions? I already answered this in a couple of questions. Areas you've never played in? I've played everywhere. Maybe, yeah. Actually, I haven't played in Hawaii. When will EU5 come out? I think 2025, personally. Maybe even 2026. I don't know. Do you know how to have an interregnum? Yeah, like that other guy's question I answered. Why do you guys want to know this, by the way? I don't think you can have an interregnum. Why are you Dr. Robotnik? Well, I don't know. Sonic, I don't like Sonic, bruh. Where are you from? Answer with a nation that exists in EU4 in 1444. I'm from Malaya. How to become the HRE Emperor as a non-Christian? I don't think you can. How do you beat the Ottomans? Very easy. If you're in Europe, find big allies and attack them when they're fighting in Anatolia. If you're not in Europe, find big allies and attack them when they're fighting in Europe. Easy. How do you manage your mana? I generally don't have problems with mana. First, I guess I prioritize coring and stuff like that. Then you would prioritize ideas if you're ahead on tech. If you're behind on tech, prioritize tech. Dev when you have extra. It's just something that comes naturally. What is love? Don't hurt me. Which nation has the best color? Siam? If EU4 is so good, we're at EU5. No, EU4 is good enough. Please. How can I deal with the loans? Once you get bigger loans, pay off the smaller loans. Get burger loans to pay off the big loans. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Florinomics. What's your favorite religion? I already said Catholic and Orthodox, I guess. How to PU the Ottomans early game? You can't. They're not Christian, and only Christian nations can be PU'd. Fun fact. A non-Christian nation can PU a Christian nation. That's why sometimes you see the Ottomans have a PU on Akunlu, because Akunlu have turned Coptic. But only junior partners need to be Christian, not senior partner. Why do you always strengthen noble privileges? I like manpower. Why did you start playing in EU4? Like I said, I wanted to play a map history game. War game, something like that. I don't know. Morocco to Qatar campaign? Qatar doesn't exist in EU4. When will you touch grass? It's February. Well, actually, it's March. Pretty soon. Grass should come out pretty soon. How many hours do you have? Like I said, probably like 4K. Why does artillery do double damage in the back row before the invention of indirect artillery? Well, that's a question for the game devs, isn't it? Why mid and late game so boring? You probably don't have a goal which you can accomplish in the mid or late game. This guy says, where are there still no Safavid Empire, Qing Dynasty, Maratha Empire, Sikh Empire, Delhi Sultanate, Mysore, Tuangu Empire, Durrani Empire, Afghanistan, or Mughal Empire in 1444? Why do you have to be racist? Well, I'm not. And also, like I said in an earlier question, I don't do these types of videos anymore. Once again, if you want to see stuff like this, I think Chewy does them. Check him out. And as we're nearing our final questions, Marcel asks, do you regret to start such a tedious project like A to Z and releasables? No, I have lots of fun playing those series. It keeps the game fresh. It keeps it diverse. I pretty much don't play the same nations ever. So it's always something new for me. Not tedious at all. I really like it. Moritz says, when can we await EU5? Like I said, 2025, I guess. And finally, we have a question that says, why are you so bad? What a wonderful note to end it on. I'm so bad because, well, everyone likes bad boys. But yeah, I think that's gonna be about it for today, man. I answered all of your guys' questions. Hopefully you learned a little bit. I know I didn't really go into depth and stuff, but as you guys know, I'm not really a min-maxer and stuff like that. So maybe I couldn't answer some of the more technical questions you answered, but the ones I could, I tried. And well, I did my best. And if you like this, maybe we can do it again next month. Maybe non-EU4 related questions or something like that. But yeah, a different type of video to what I usually do, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So yeah, let me know in the comments below if you want to see more videos like this. And if you want to watch me do stuff like this live, you can follow me on twitch.tv/RedHawkLive. And if you want to catch up with stuff from over there, you can subscribe to the second channel. Link is in the description. If you enjoyed this video, don't hesitate to leave a like. It really helps out a lot. And if you like the content and want to see more videos like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of them. And you can become a member today and join the Discord. The link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time with another EU4 video.